Okay guys, long video today. XRP just fell below $3 again, and if you're holding or considering buying, you don't want to miss what happens next. I'm going to dissect my entire XRP price forecast for 2025, the critical levels I'm monitoring, how XRP can be impacted by Bitcoin's price action, and exactly where I'm going to get in, place my stop loss, and take profit. Stick with me, because the next step might surprise many, and I don't want you to be among them. Let's discuss why this time is so very important before we get into the technical breakdown. XRP's return below $3 is for many retail traders a psychological level. Every time XRP loses $3, panic sets in, and the same people who sold near the bottom last cycle are about to do it again. The question isn't just, is XRP going to crash, but whether this is the shakeout that sets up the next major rally going into 2025. Here's what I'm seeing on the charts. XRP has been ranging in a giant ascending channel since the end of 2023, with support now resting just above $2.75. If we break that and don't hold below it for over 48 hours, my next support level is around $2.30. That's where we last saw buyers come in this year. On the other hand, if XRP can hold on to $3.10 and take it back, I believe we could be on the fast track to moving back up to $3.60. And from there, the path to $5 is open. This is where I'm placing my XRP price forecast for 2025. I still believe we reached $5 to $7 last year if this cycle goes exactly like the previous one. Now let's introduce some context with Bitcoin, because, like it or not, XRP tracks Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently is sitting around $107,000, and we have three levels to pay attention to: $114,000, $107,000, and $104,000. If Bitcoin breaks $107,000, XRP will most likely test that $2.30 zone I've been talking about. But if Bitcoin rebounds off $107,000 and forces its way back up towards $114,000, that might be the trigger to get XRP above $3 and squeeze short sellers. Comment below and let me know. Do you believe Bitcoin is holding $107,000? Or do we flush to $104,000? Type hold if you believe we're bouncing this week. I love seeing what you guys think because it helps everyone get a sense of sentiment in real time. Now, let's discuss momentum indicators, because this is where things get interesting. XRP's daily chart MACD just went bearish, which typically means more downside in the short term. But the histogram is already beginning to flatten, which leads me to believe that we may only have one more leg down before we bottom. Patience is a virtue here. If you want to add to your XRP bag, I wouldn't FOMO in yet. I'd wait for one more dip, ideally to $2.50 to $2.30, before loading up. That's my plan personally. Let's break it down step by step. My trade plan looks like this. I'm entering at $2.50 with a stop loss at $2.18, giving me some breathing room in case of a wick down. My initial take profit is at $3.40, then $4.80, and if we actually plunge into 2025, I'm looking to take the last profit around $6.50. Risk management is everything. I'm not going all in. I'm scaling in slow and keeping cash on the sidelines to add more if we do panic selling. Talking of panic selling, let's take a step back and discuss macro factors because they are gigantic for XRP price prediction 2025. The Federal Reserve has been giving mixed signals recently. PCE inflation just came out slightly hotter than anticipated, meaning rate cuts could be pushed back once more. That tends to damage risk assets such as crypto in the near term. But historically, once the Fed finally turns, crypto flat out rips higher. That is why I believe late fourth quarter 2024 or early 2025 might be the beginning of the next big rally. Leave a comment and let me know. Do you believe the Fed will cut by the end of the year? If we receive that first rate cut in December, I'm telling you, XRP is going to fly in Q1 2025. That's when the big boys are going to start rotating back in, and liquidity comes pouring into crypto. And don't forget, we've still got the SEC case headlines lurking in the background. Anytime there's some kind of good news for Ripple, XRP pumps. If we get unambiguous regulatory approval heading into 2025, that might be the last piece of the puzzle that puts XRP to new all-time highs. Alright, let me give you a quick mental reboot here. We've been discussing technicals, macros, and trade setups. If you're still around, that means you're serious about trading smarter. Do me a solid, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and enable notifications. That way you won't miss my next Crypto News Today analysis, where I discuss Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the altcoin setups that I'm trading each week. Now let's return to the XRP technical analysis and examine volume. What I always like to see is whether or not price movements are accompanied by volume spikes. Currently, we're witnessing decreasing volume on this pullback, and that's actually bullish. It indicates sellers are tiring out. When you notice price falling but volume disappearing, then it often means the bottom is about to occur. Add to that the MACD flattening, and we got ourselves a pretty good setup in the making. But we have to also respect the market. If XRP gives up $2.30 on heavy volume, all bets are off, and we might see $1.80 again. That's why stop losses are important. Too many traders get cleaned out by hanging on blindly. Keep your capital safe. Live to trade another day. Another thing to watch: Bitcoin dominance. If BTC dominance spikes, altcoins like XRP often lag until Bitcoin cools off. Right now, dominance is high but rolling over slightly, which means we could be close to alt season, and that's when XRP historically outperforms. Comment below. Do you believe alt season begins before or after Bitcoin reaches $120,000? I'm kind of interested because during the last cycle, XRP's major run occurred immediately after Bitcoin peaked. Alright, let's summarize everything. My XRP price forecast for 2025 remains bullish so long as we remain above $2.30. Short term, we may get one more flush, but I view that as a chance, not a cause for alarm. My trade strategy remains the same. Buy around $2.50 to $2.30, place a stop at $2.18, scale out profits at $3.40, $4.80, and $6.50. If Bitcoin remains strong above $107,000 and reaches $114,000, I believe XRP will retake $3 in no time, and that's when FOMO becomes active again. Leave in the comments what you're going to do with your XRP. Are you going to buy, sell, or just hold out the volatility? I'm reading every comment and it lets me know what to create next for you guys. Okay, last thoughts. Crypto remains in long-term bull trend despite the short-term drops. XRP below $3 is a gift in my opinion if you think long-term on the project. We have the ideal storm building, technicals aligning, macro change on the way with the Fed, and increasing adoption of Ripple's tech globally. 2025 can be huge if you set it up correctly. So this is what I need you to do next. Click on the video that just appeared on your screen. It's my deep dive into Bitcoin price prediction and how BTC's next move will set up all altcoins, including XRP. If you know Bitcoin's roadmap, you can trade XRP with so much more confidence. Watch that now, and I'll see you there.